Hello and welcome to another episode of Lordsplodge Gaming. This time we're going to take a look at the Days of Wonder game, Small World. The action-packed, multi-character, multi-race board game where it's a world of slaughter after all. Terrible pun on the side of the box. A world of laughter, and they put an S on it. See? But hey ho, let's see what it is, how it plays, and then we'll look at what my thoughts about the game are. So here we have Small World set out for a two-player game, and there's actually two sides to each map. So here is the 3 and 4 player variants, as you can see. Let's go fold this out. That is a fair bit bigger. And you have a map here. And there's a turn track down the left here. And what you do is at the start of the game, each person will pick a race, and this is where the clever part of the game comes in, because there'll be 6 to choose from. And here you have the Amazons, which shows its special ability, in this case +4 when attacking, and the number of creatures you'll get. So you'll get 6 plus the number associated with a special power. So this one is an extra 5 and -1 to attack when coming out of a cave. So if we take a look at the board here, you see that that symbol's got a cave on it, and there's also one over there. So if they were to attack any of those areas, they'd need one less attacker. And these are drawn at random. So we have the scouting humans, stout humans even. So these have got a special symbol where they still move when they still remain the same when they're in decline, and +1 gold for every farmland they have, as you can see there. And then we have the dwarves, which get +1 gold for every mine they have, and these are merchant dwarves, so they get +1 gold for each area they control. And bizarrely, because as I say, it's random, diplomatic orcs. And these guys get +1 for each area they conquest. But diplomatic means they have to choose a player, and that player can't attack them. Now there is, thankfully, because there's a lot of variants, a comprehensive summary sheet which will go through each of the terrain types, so farmlands, forests, hills, swamps, mountains, and seas and lakes, and crucially all the races, so Amazons, dwarfs, elves, ghouls, giants, halflings, humans, orcs, ratmen, skeletons, sorcerers, tritons, trolls, and wizards, your favourite races from every fantasy genre, and their special abilities, so alchemist, berserk, bivouacking, commando, diplomat, dragon master, flying, forest, fortified, heroic, hill, merchant, mounted, pillaging, seafaring, wealthy, underworld, swamp, stout, and spirit. And stout was, you may go into decline at the end of the turn of conquest after scoring. Normally, you go into decline at the start of the turn, but we'll get to that. Anyway, there is a load of tokens for each special ability which you might need, and also a dice. So what you do is at the start of the turn, you'll take, in turn order, you will take your men, and from the edge of the board, unless you've got a special ability that lets you come in, you will conquer, and it takes 2 men to conquer an empty one. Now you start off with a load of lost tribes, so they will take 3. Essentially you have to match what's there. So 2 for an empty one, there's a creature there, 3. If you had an enemy who was on a mountain, or otherwise fortified location, you would need 1, 2 for the place, 1 for the man, and 1 for the mountain. So that's 4. If during the last conquest of your turn you haven't got enough, you can roll this dice in the last conquest. So I'm going to go for this one with just 2. I'd need to roll 2 or more on this dice. There we go, done it. But that has to be the last conquest of the turn. And each turn you get to move that around, so maybe I'll move 1 from there, 1 from there, into there. Well, it's got a lost creature, but you know, move them around. And if you think that you've basically expended that race as much as you can choose to flip them over, and they go into decline. They lose their special ability, and you choose another race. So this from the pile that's out. So I could choose the stout humans. But that, unless you've got stout, you decline at the start of the turn, so that would be the end of my go, and the next person would have a go, and so on and so forth. And the game proceeds that way until turn 10. And whoever has the most gold at the end of the turn, so here's the ones, whoever has the most gold at the end of the game is declared the winner. And it's all kept secret, so you don't know who's going to have the most gold. Now, the races are basically, as further along, each one at the start has a gold coin put on it. So if you pick the first one, that would be the best choice, and you pick the next one, and you get that amount of gold. Anyway, let's get to the wrap up and see what I think of the game. So that was Small World from Days of Wonder. Actually, I think that was the first board game I ever got, and it's a brilliant game. The premise of conquering and capturing areas, not knowing how much money you've got and each player's got until the end of the game is great, and on its own wouldn't be a bad board game. But the fact that you've got so many races randomly mashed up with different abilities. You've got bivouacking dwarves, diplomatic trolls, you know, you name it, it's in there. And each race has got its own ability. Each power that you attach to a race has got its own ability. It makes for a lot of variety. It's a quick game to play. It's easy to pick up. I've played this with my daughter-in-law to be. She's not played this kind of game before. In fact, it was one of the first board games I played with her. She picked it up, won the game. So that tells you what you need to know. Days of Wonder knocked it out of the park yet again. There is a myriad of expansions. I don't own a single one because I'm still getting through the core game, but even without those expansions, there's so much longevity in the game. So, thumbs up. If you don't own it, go ahead and buy it. Play it with your friends, play it with your family, get them into board gaming, job done. Thanks for watching.